In 2010, the government raised university fees as the coalition motion was backed by 323 votes to 302. This meant that the fees will raise to a maximum of £9,000 a year. This caused many controversies across the UK as the police were out in force as thousands of students marched through central London.
I think everyone deserves a chance for higher education and a better job.
It's just hard to get into something that we really want to do.
I think education should be free for everyone.
I've got no respect for someone like Nick Clegg.
This is really unfair on people with unprivileged backgrounds.
I went to go and interview a sixth form student who will be affected. Will the rise in tuition fees affect you?
The rise in tuition fees will have an effect on me. However, I'm still thinking of taking my education further on in order to gain a degree and progress in my career. I come from a middle-income family and this will have an effect on me because I will have to take out a loan. The disadvantage of this is that I will have to pay back a huge amount of money. This will take a long period of time for me to pay back my fees.
Are you having second thoughts on whether to go university?
I'm still having second thoughts of going to university. This is because not all my friends are going to university. Some of them are either applying for a job or going into apprenticeship courses. Also, the unemployment rate has increased, which means I'm not guaranteed a job after I have graduated.
I'm here at Roehampton University for an interview with Robert Kagwa for a professor's point of view. Do you feel that there is even a point of students going to university?
There's a point of going to university because education is so important, and I still value university education very highly.
Do you think that the increase in tuition fees will affect students from poor backgrounds?
The government speaks about helping people from poor backgrounds, but I don't think they are really delivering that from what I'm hearing from students and from people from news and so on. If someone comes from a poorer background, they will certainly not think it's important to pay all that, you know.
Do you feel that the increase in tuition fees will decrease the number of students gaining a degree for their future?
As time goes on, I think people do like to study and to go to university.
From 2012, students will have to pay £9,000 a year. 14% from poorer backgrounds are less likely to go compared to 9% who are privileged. I went to go and interview Mike Gapes. He was elected as a Labour and Cooperative in 1992 and is still currently the Labour and Cooperative Party candidate for Ilford South.
When I went to university in the 1970s, I didn't have to pay any fees at all. Now, young people are not getting grants and they're having to pay fees. And so they are dependent upon incurring debts on top of the living costs which they would have had at that time. And I think this is a retrograde step, and I hope that in time, when the financial situation in the country is improved, we will revisit this issue and look at it again, because I don't think that it is right that we are charging fees of this kind, and I think it acts as a deterrent to some people to go into higher and further education. The main reason that the government increased tuition fees was because they wanted to cut the spending of the government on education. I voted against it. I hope that it won't deter large numbers of young people from going to university.
Next, I'm going to Westminster to interview Lee Scott, a Conservative MP, to hear what he has to say about the rise in tuition fees at Portcullis House. What do you think about the rise in tuition fees?
I actually didn't vote for the rise in tuition fees. There wasn't an option on the table from any of the parties, and I therefore abstained on the vote and actually resigned my position in government a year ago over that.
Do you think that there was a need for the government to change the policy in the first place?
I fully understand why the coalition government had to make the changes. On that side, their option was a graduate tax. The students were suggesting a change in the way and percentage of interest that's paid back on any loans. So everyone was suggesting a change.
Do you think that it is fair that students will have to pay more for their education?
I think there had to be a change. And do I think it's right that students pay something for education? Well, of course, in every other country of the world. The case is whether the fee is the right fee and how it is paid back.
Next, I'm going to be interviewing John Tyne, a Redbridge Liberal Democrat councillor.
They'll lose students because they'll be studying abroad. I think there was a real danger that there are a number of students who will be put off a study. I think that the universities will suffer because if they cannot get the students in, the actual academic to the universities. Unless education is really looked at seriously and funded, and the universities funded properly centrally, if we carry on at the same level of funding for universities, there is no way that the fees can decrease.
From having a look at facts, statistics and responses from professionals and the public, in my opinion, I'm disappointed that university fees have increased. It's a shame as times are hard economically. This will affect students who are dedicated to get an education they deserve. The only reason which is stopping them from going to university is mainly ending up with a huge amount of debt.